Welcome to the Saturday preview. It's Randwick, it's June Stakes Day. It's Bob Charlie June Stakes Day. Good morning, Glenn. Good morning, Gord.
Morning, guys.
Yeah, it was an interesting choice of names for the June Stakes. Seems a good amount of racing, Mark, but much maligned in some areas too. Like, he's not everyone's cup of tea. I was surprised they named a race after him. Such a big race.
I'm surprised they named a sprint race after him. He's right into the jumps and the long races. So
Yeah,
he's a big Banjo Patterson lover that styles himself as he gets down to Warrnambool every year and it's his big gig. Anyway,
last time I saw him was at Hawkesbury selling jams. Like, interesting.
Like homemade jam.
Like something or wines. Maybe it was wines. Might have been wines. I was like market day out there, and there's Bob Charlie hocking stuff in the betting ring. It did your head in a bit, but
we got an email about him for the rant on Monday. Meanwhile, back at Randwick, 5 mils overnight to add to the rain on Tuesday. They're saying 21 for the week, but that's 21 over 8 days. 8 days ago was there was 3 bits of rain last Thursday, Tuesday, and Thursday. We'll be on a 6, maybe a 6.5, but it's just slow. It's just a slow track because weather will be fine today, the weather will be fine tomorrow, and a bit windy tomorrow. 3 metre rail. It was a bit arguable how Randwick played 2 weeks ago on a slightly firmer track. I don't have any hard evidence for any particular pattern. Some 3 metres are inside, some 3 metres are outside. Depends on it's wind dependent as well. All right, interesting 2-year-old race to start the day. And Vern is our favourite at 420, in the Congo 480. Sacred Field 5, Park Avenue 550, and Bitcoin Baby at 6. So that's a cluster. The speed is above average. They have in the Congo getting across Colour de Roy, which you need to get his skates on, I would think. Vern could easily be best to jump of the 3 of them, but they've got it taking a trail. And Bitcoin Baby, who was a bit sluggish at the short course at Newcastle, they've got sliding into the box seat. I thought Sacred Field might occupy that position. Glenn, where do we start here?
Well, I thought it was an easy start. I thought it was one of the better bets of the day. I thought the horse proved itself to be a good horse at Warwick Farm Vern. I hope Gord's tipping it. Fuck you, tips and winners, Gord. Don't mind the book.
That was a bloody masterclass on Wednesday.
Oh, it was a fucking masterclass. By the way, I owe you $1 billion. What about it? Just pissed in fast, Coney. Wish I could have cancelled after watching Parade, but well done, Gord. I hope you're tipping the same horse. I think it's a really nice horse. I thought it was the best.
So what are you expecting from the Parade tomorrow? Because something wasn't right about the Parade last week.
I'm expecting that the run will do the world of good and it'll improve 3 or 4 lengths. I think if it does prove 2 or 3 lengths, it's a 9 to 4 chance. I think it's got a great home number 4, Vern. What else do you want me to say? I suppose Park Avenue is the danger. In the Congo race, I'm suspect of, yet Vern's coming out of it, but it's had the win since.
Yeah, you could put that to one side, I suppose, or you could say, well, it did start favourite in that race, and it got a pocket that wasn't much used to it at Kensay. But anyway, Gord, where are you going?
No, this market is completely wrong. This price is absolutely sensational about Vern. It's far shorter. Clear favourite.
That's what I thought.
It's a better setup than in the Congo as well, having the extra run going to 1,200 metres on what's going to be a sticky track. And Park Avenue's kind of PR'd to get its 2 wins, but I suppose at least it's on a different line than in the Congo and Vern. Clearly on top Vern, I think it's a really good horse. I agree with everything Glenn said.
All right, Brady Louis.
I sort of struggle to find the danger.
What are you doing with B. Louis? Because he's had 8 start. He's had 8 goes in Metro. He's had 8 Metro rides in the last 2 years.
Okay, so I think that's why we're getting the price, and I think he's quite accomplished. I think it's a big opportunity for a young lad. It's not like a carnival day.
Big opportunity. I really like the rider, but I just it's not quite ducks in a line here.
I just think it's a big difference when you don't have J-Mac, when you don't have T-Berry, when you don't have Nasrallah.
Suddenly Jay Ford rides winners.
Yeah, so
But
I've got no problem with Brady Lloyd. I'm excited he's riding it.
It's a pretty easy horse to ride, as Mark mentioned in the map. But it's either leader, OSL, or 1 out, 1 back.
Well, it won't be leader.
But all those three positions are fine, and they're the only.
It looks to
positions
PR
you
to
can
me. Anyway,
Right, these are the horses I went looking for. Park Avenue.
Yep.
And Colour de Roy, because it's a leader that drew inside the other day, and now it's drawn out wide, and it's third up. They're the two coming out of the Saturday race, with the third one being Sacred Field, which is obviously T-Berry to Jay Ford, but must be a contender. And then you've got the other two chances, I think, are obviously in the Congo and Vern. And, I like everything that everyone said about Vern. That's perfect. Bitcoin Baby, I did not find.
I don't think anyone's going to find Bitcoin Baby. It'll be 20s. What price is it now?
$6.
Well, it might be 20s, but it's hard. It's very, to me, it's a 20s chance.
Right, race 2 is the highway, 1,500 metres. And there's been a mover and shaker in the market since I did this race, less than 24 hours ago. So favourite is Tipping Point at $6.50. Charvet is $7, and Casino Kid is $7.50. Statesville $9.50. Mr. Wong $9.50. Above average speed, maybe fast speed. I had 5 possible leaders. They had 4 of them in a row, and the other one they had midfield, which was the Drover. So inside out, you got Cecilia, Snowbella, Fix'em Dave, who led the race the other day. They led the lead up. The Drover, and Statesville has drawn the widest. Antilles is a horse that gets forward, but a stayer. Amazing to think that it turns up here in a highway after making his Australian debut in the Rose Hill Cup on Golden Eagle Day 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Roman is certainly handy enough as well. So it's game on. And am I wrong in thinking that Casino Kid has halved its price? Does anyone know?
No.
I had it on top.
Yeah. Good old Dodd from Sportbet rang me this morning. Very keen on Casino Kid.
Right.
Yeah, why wouldn't he be? It's a lightly raced 3-year-old, wetsuits. It's one of the better horses that they've got in the stable.
Yeah, but that's it's always a low percentage stable. This stable, both the Jan Bowen and Pat Farrell. They're not.
Well, this is a country race, Mark, but I know what you mean. It's not a Randwick race. It's also got Reece Jones claiming 3 and just fucking ticks a lot of boxes for me, and racing really well. What was it? 15s in a 750, was it?
Oh, I'd say 13 at 750. I would have put down 120 odd % and then changed it to 115. But yeah.
Well, 8 on top for me, guys. I tried to look for a bit of I'm getting a bit sick of doing highway form, to be honest.
Yeah,
watching replays of Swagger's race and going fucking mad.
You gotta watch so many vids when you're doing the highways, because you're looking for all these lines to line them up from different areas. Takes a lot of work.
The other horse I was interested in was number 12, Lunaset. Okay, the run 2 starts to go behind Don't Forget Commander was one of the better runs in the race.
And I thought on that occasion, wasn't it?
What's that?
Yeah, so about much. Oh, T Hope, sorry. Yeah, so
T Hope.
Yeah.
Then C Waddell, and find Sammy Clipper tomorrow, which okay, it's Sam, but it's a lightly raced 4-year-old man. I think it'll get itself into the finish. I was 8 from 12. But I could have 18 scenarios. And if I do Mr. Wong, I'll look at one more tape of Mr. Wong, I'm going to jump off a gap. I'm so sick of it.
All right.
God help us, mate. What do you say?
Yeah, God will have some clarity.
Well, it's actually weird, mate, because you mentioned in the review about giving more of a tick to Fish and Dave than
and Statesville.
Yeah, well, Fish and Dave, I thought, was the one I'd give a tick to out of the leader.
Yeah, but we were sort of we were hoping that it'd go back to the bush.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we were, and I don't know, 55.5 up to 59, and it's no weaker race. Doesn't look right to me, but maybe just that little bit when you're a leader, maybe you need just a little bit more fitness, and maybe that extra run has got it to be able to hold on a little bit better. Coming up here, look, it's over 20-1, so it's a horse of interest for me. My primary bet in the race is going to be number 7, the Drover. Last preparation and this preparation, this horse has found some form. So, I can ignore 2 of those starts, its first 2 starts where it did nothing, and say this is a 7-starter, 2 wins, 4 placings. And if you notice, Jay Collette, Winter, wide barriers might be all right, wet. All the main A graders not being here, he's definitely a go-to jockey on the program.
He'll get up the fence and win for you.
From barrier 18. Down a couple of kilos. If you also notice, we do have a line through this horse. So two starts back at Parks. It got run down late by a horse called Fortunate Lass, which actually ran in the lead up highway and ran quite nicely, I thought. So that's sort of half ranking it. Yeah, up to 1600. Third up, I'd third up off a 6 weeks freshen up. Just looks right. Absolutely owned them last start. It's $26. I'll be
not anymore, but it is. I marked it single figures, the Drover, and I mean, obviously, clearly they just don't like the Western Districts form, which is not a bad rule of thumb. But in this race,
we've got lines here, Mark. Because first up this preparation, it came second to a horse called a Head Start, who was a dominant winner in a highway previously, and that was over an unsuitable distance of 1100 metres. Easy.
Agree with you, Gordon. Yep. I've marked it second pick, but my top pick is Mr. Wong.
Oh no! Bloody hell, Glenn and I, we always find this horse. Now you're on it. What's going on? Fucking hell!
It had a year off. It's had 3 runs back, 12, 12, 14, and S. Clinton is just she's just warming seats at the moment. So I know that Matthew Palmer is there, but he's the stable rider for this stable. And there are 2 horses with midweek runs in this race. Now you've got to go back to 2 runs at Warwick Farm last preparation for Mr. Wong, and the other horse with the midweek run is Statesville, which you found last time, Gordon, got forced outside the lead and was coming back to 1400 on that occasion, back up to 1500 here. They're the 2 I went looking for, 1 and 6, and the other 2 numbers that I put in there were 7 and 8, the Drover and Casino Kid. But I just felt that it's time for the planets to align for Mr. Wong, because it's 4th up at 1500 off a long spell. Race 3,000 meters. And the highway horse Ice in Vancouver is favourite, $3.20 for Louise Day, $3.60 Malkovich, $6.50 Hulk, $8.50 De Grawen. And the map is keen. It's fast pace. It's Malkovich holding out Remlap's Gem, maybe. Did go very fast the other day, Remlap's Gem. De Grawen gets crossed by the looks of it. Ice in Vancouver settles next, and now Bellagio Miss is caught wide, just off the speed. Really interesting race, because we've got the lead up sort of is 1100 back to 1000, which is a bit awkward. And, we've got this boom country horse that was in a highway last week, and now he's in a Saturday race, which is a big difference, and Louise Day to boot. But because it's 1,000 meters, I think that assists it in terms of, Saturday, 1,000 meters is not a proper Saturday race in some ways. Anyway.
You just have something against 1,000-meter races.
I hate that.
There's some good horses in this race, Mark. And
so what do you want to do, Gord?
It's a bush. You've got to be against it. It's favourite. Like shit, if it's if it's the new cure for cancer for the country or whatever, I'll lose my money. This is perfect for number 6, De Grawen. It was given none last start. I actually say positive jockey change, R King to A Adkins. And the intent from the stable is they're definitely going to lead or sit outside lead, and that's what this horse needs. 1,000 meters, sticky track, no horses in front of it. It's an easy bet for me to have. Malkovich has a chance, but I don't think I'll be backing it. Not sure it's going to really like the sticky stuff. And the other one who's first up on sticky, which I normally don't like, is number 10, Our Bellagio Miss, but it gets in there with Reece Jones with 51.5 on its back. If you notice, there was a 1,000-meter race last preparation where De Grawen and Our Bellagio Miss ran against each other. De Grawen owned it on that occasion, but look, I just think with no weight on your back on these sticky winter tracks, with a gun apprenticing Reece Jones is always a good play to do. So I'm backing 2 horses, De Grawen and Our Bellagio Miss, and might even consider laying Ice in Vancouver.
What do you say, Glenn?
Love the race. Obviously, against the country horse like you guys, and I'm tipping the most exposed horse in Australia, which is called number 4 Hulk.
No.
If this isn't the most perfect setup for this horse of all time, I'll give it up. 4 to beat, 6 to grow, and everything Gord mentioned, but he just didn't mention. It's had 5 starts for 4 at the distance for 4 wins and a second. It flies in the wet. 4 to beat 6, and I thought there was a good roughie in the race. It was called Our Bellagio Miss. But I can't. The reason
I can cut the wages here and just get one of you on.
Not really. We don't often. We hardly ever think the same.
We disagreed in the highway.
And I've tipped Hulk on top. What are you talking about?
Mm.
And everyone is like Gord is not going to mention Hulk. It'll be $9 tomorrow. Geez, your PRs.
I've had enough of it.
That's what the market will say, Gord.
I know. No, badly drawn the other day. Badly
got
drawn.
A great chance tomorrow, Gord. You'll be covering it tomorrow, Gord.
But you know,
you got to dismiss Ice in Vancouver because you can't back it. And if Malkovich gets led at all, it's fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, but doesn't it fuck the other leaders as well? I mean,
maybe
that's why do you think we're tipping Hulk, to Grown and Our Bellagio?
Nothing wrong with Hulk.
Hulk's got a great chance tomorrow. And it's the most exposed, lowest thing, 26 for 3, 12 placings. It is just a greatest. It's the captain of all the milk drinkers, but wow, finds its race tomorrow.
So my narrative in this race is because it's 1,000 meters, it's anything goes.
They've gone for longies.
No, it actually helps the favourite. It helps the bushy because it's 1,000 meters, and so I just went brushing everything and went looking for the favourite, marked it 5 to 2. And it's not even that.
Yeah.
So you got no idea how hard it was for me to try and get it into that price. And there are two other horses.
You're actually saying you like it, or are you contradicting yourself?
No, I'm saying I like it.
You're graying yourself up.
Yeah, I do.
Instead of us, we're not listening to you this time. We're going nuts.
Oh dear. Lancaster Bomber presumes off a win. Yeah. And
it's a horse of interest in the parade.
And already blessed, Kay Latham, and it comes off a provincial run, but it should have stayed at the short courses all its life. I think it can run a race, but it's, as I say, it's a dog's breakfast that that presents a really interesting analytical event.
Yeah, and I'm sure we've mentioned the winner.
Race 4, sorry, Gravina.
We've mentioned all but 2 horses in the race. I reckon we've got it. By the way, we have a meeting before we film. We have a meeting before we film, guys, and we just go, okay, you go that one, I'll go this one, you go that one, and then somebody's going to be a hero.
And it's something we definitely don't do, Gordon.
I
know. Race 4, $1.95 Gravina. And $5.50 Alucci Babe.
Most interesting price favourite I've ever seen.
So moderate pace. Well, let's say below average pace. Brazen Gem I had leading. I had her leading Ulysses, but they have switched outside, which is probably fair enough. Gravina, box seating. So Glenn, talk to me about why it's the most interesting priced favourite.
Oh, because you can't price it off. I mean, you do the form, you do the tapes, you go, well, this just stands out. But like the PR, that was the PR of all PRs. You can't take it as that's form.
The figures are there.
Well, if the figures there, will probably win. I'm going for the Saturday horse in the races. It's got the stable change though. Thought the trials were okay. Can't wait to see the parade. I know I used to tip it all the time when Rick Worthington had it, but I'm excited to see it tomorrow, Steel Diamond, guys, especially if you get my Manning Yard mail, because I know exactly how it should look. That's number 11. It's a Saturday horse. It's the best horse in the race. Goes to the best trainer in Australia from Rick Worthington, who they tell me is a horseman, but it's got Boss off. It's a lightly raced 4-year-old mare, and goes right in the wet. Can't wait to see it. 11 to beat 7. Can't imagine I'd have anything to do with 7 at $1.95 ever.
All right, is that the end of the chances?
No, just they're my top 2. I don't like mentioning every runner. Obviously,
No, you don't. The point of mentioning every runner is either to say yay or nay. It's just because you mention it doesn't mean you tip it.
Yeah, that's true too. I thought 10 could run a place at Big Oz. Stable, mate.
Trialled since last
Mm.
start. Gord, how do you place the favourite?
Dodd rang me about another horse in this race, number 11, Steel Diamond. Maybe Glenn and Dodd have been conversing as well.
We've been making out.
Yeah, he just says, man, this thing was doing great stuff last preparation on sticky stuff. It's trialled really well. And there's a chance that this stable might have improved it off what it did last preparation by 4 or 5 lengths.
But no, I mean, look, I understand the narrative, but I looked at this race and I go, well, there's 2 horses coming off hot last start Randwick runs. Why do we look elsewhere? Why are you looking?
I'm backing Gravina. But I'm Gravina from Steel Diamond, and there's no per in that Gravina price, Mark, because it is purely priced off just that one run.
Yeah, but it's course and distance. It's like, it's just, you know.
I know, and that's why it's there. But I would like to see a little bit more consistency in those kind of figures for me to say, you know, I'm still got a little bit of a feeling in my head. Was that just an outlier?
It was 4th up off a long spell. So, like, it was a 3-year-old that had a relatively early 2-year-old career and then a long spell.
Yeah,
and it's come to hand. You know, it's that was a good run in a strong race 2 starts ago. And I realised that it was a provincial race, but you know, now it's.
Have you got a temperature or something, Mark?
No, it's because I'm talking with the scarf on, I think.
No, I'm just going like, you never tip stuff off scone. Like when I'm tipping horses off scone,
I'm not tipping it off scone.
Oh, that's bush stuff. That's rubbish, Gordon.
Exactly. So where's Gravina's last start? It's bloody course and distance 2 weeks ago.
You said 2 starts back, good run.
Just one of those fertile races that can, you know, can throw up stuff because it's on a course that can fit. But anyway, Bellucci Babe, no one's mentioned it. Has it got no hope?
It hasn't got no hope. It's a little Aussie battler, definitely in the market, and a chance. Big deal. What have I said there? Nothing.
I just thought that yeah, I was quite hard on it here.
And what were you, $7?
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, the inside draw for Gravina isn't a problem as well. Like, its action and the weight it's carrying means that it can, let's say the inside is a little bit off, it can just get through on the inside there, and even if it's not in the best part of the track, it'll still extend. It's a good bet, number 7.
Looks very hard to beat to me. But Glenn is you're the king of these style.
But I understand that.
No, I get plenty of races wrong, Mark. I just, you know, I really think it's got a great chance tomorrow. I really think it's got a great chance, Gravina, and I couldn't contemplate anything shorter than $3.
Okay.
All right, the 5th will be the last race of the front half, and Zing is $3.40. The Shipper Le Chevalier is $4, $6 Snippy Fox, $9.50 Ruby Tuesday. Above average speed, you've got good old Margie B from a leader's draw there. Snippy Fox looks to chase. Betty Blooms takes the box seat. And Ruby Tuesday, there was a problem behind the gates there the other day, which meant that she sort of bumbled out of the start. So she'll be up there early looking for a spot, or if not, contesting the lead. So it does seem to set up relatively well for Zing, who, look at her, she's 3rd up. She's 7-day backup. She didn't race on the inside last week. Is that enough, Glenn?
It's probably enough, Mark, but what a hateful race it is to do. Like, awful. I hate tipping horses like Zing when they're this type of price range. I like to be the one that finds them at $13, you know? Zing on top for me. I thought I didn't see anything in the Shipper's form, the Melbourne horse. I thought number 7's racing particularly well. That has got Jay Forward. Snippy
Fox. Well, you know, Shipper's got Reagan Bayless. So, you know, you got a team of jockeys here. You know, if you're not Gunn, if you're not Kay Latham, and maybe JVO or maybe S. Clipperton, but
no, if you're not Reece Jones, he's the top rider on the card tomorrow.
Yeah, you bloody hope he is. Yeah.
Well, well done to Mark Connors for finding him on Celtic Love. Yeah, so you're saying, yeah, I must say I was surprised how short the Shipper was.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it. I went,
Okay.
oh, it's got an interesting looking setup, and
Yeah.
you know, our
$8.
our team's a bit, our team's a
Yeah.
bit meh, and you know, it's coming off a midweek Sandown race, so that's provincial.
They're kind of my thoughts.
But I suppose it's Mara and Eustace. I mean, that's must be the attraction. Gord, which way did you go?
Number 5, the Lush Chevrolet on top, clearly.
Wow.
I had enough of Zing, guys. That's and I'm with it. Zing is the kind of horse that you want to back at $8 or over, because I think it's a little bit like a number. It's a bit mythical. I can't.
It's in the Milk Drinkers Club. It's another one.
But this is such a weak race, so I just went, okay. Well, if I think all the Sydney horses are rubbish, I'll go looking for the DF. And doesn't this look set up for you guys? It had 46 weeks off. It's had 2 runs, 14, 16. It's got actually proper Saturday Metropolitan wins last preparation on sticky stuff. Murray and Eustace don't bring them around here for nothing. I think.
Is there anything to the theory, Gord, that you're in the best stable? The temperature every day is the same in the barn. The feed is absolutely the best feed you can have. The water's everything attended to you. You walk around the walking machine. That a lot of these Waller milk drinkers are just fucking bored.
Treat them mean, keep them keen. You want a little bit of that?
Oh well, I just think they all just go, oh, fucking another day.
NUI. Yeah.
They're all got like they live in a pandemic. We've all been locked up for 2 years. Like I got 3 extra kilos, and fucking a bit more. Okay, that's what I think of Waller.
Well, this is the way I think about it. Okay, when I'm doing the form, I like to keep things simple. I'm looking for the obvious.
Yeah, I know you are.
And if Waller is just obviously doing the right things, the good feed, the right temperature, I'm happy for that to be the way.
No, but I'm just saying that I think that's why he has a lot of horses that I call numbers, because they're just bored.
Well,
they need to get a comedian in there, tell some horse jokes or something.
That's why the long face.
That's funny.
Well, what about you know how some trainers put them over jumps to get
but I just don't think that fits into his. That's never going to be part of his thing. He's got his staff. They clock in, they clock off. All the staff will be well paid. They get paid for every hour they work. There's no shortcuts. Everything is a process. I just think it leads to horses becoming bored, and you get these horses
of course it does. But I mean, like
Zing, Hulk, all of them.
But it also leads to a lot of winners.
A numbers game.
He's talking about ticking boxes. He's got all these horses that have got 3 from 20. And they win when all the ducks line up. So here's Zing. It's third up. It's on the 7-day backup. It showed no speed first up. It's on the speed the other day. It's on the 7-day backup. It's got B. Abdallah. It's like tick, 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 tick. It's back to the course and distance that it won its race last preparation. It's just he's just playing the numbers. And the 2 horses I went looking for were the number horse, Zing, and the other horse, the Chevrolet. But I didn't get it as short as the market's got it. So that's sad, isn't it? What else is there to say? I mean, Betty Blooms was scratched from a 1900 on Wednesday to run at a mile here. It's doing nice things for the Freedmans. Did toughen out. Acrophobic had a cold the other day. And Ruby Tuesday is doing good things this preparation and has a definite excuse last time. Snippy Fox has got to fit in there somehow. And won't there be a bit of a sneaky go on live and live in the fast lane here?
I think there might be for sure. It's one of the horses I got marked. Can't wait to see it parade, Mark. Can't wait.
Last time
it's going to be back because of the weight, Mark.
Partly, but I mean, last time it was in a Saturday race on the
that's good form
on Everest Day. There it is, Brock Ryan, same rider, and it gets nosed out by Fortress Command in a Saturday race. So, there'll be it carried T-Berry Gate 1 at home with the big weight last time. It's a barrier troll.
I'm going to back it. You've convinced me.
It's got form good. It's a proper horse.
What's easy to throw a couple hundred each way on it? What is it? 30 to 1 or something like that?
Just fucking chuck it on. Don't think, but to all those people out there chipping away at $18 now.
$34 it is. And
the part 1, guys.
That's the end of part 1. Let's get to part 2. So we'll stop this recording and resume shortly.